I am going to present some projects that I did for the University of Saskatchewan. The first project I would like to present is for general psychology. This is a typical example of what we do at the U of S. It's a very systematic project. This is a 6-month introductory psychology course for first-year undergraduate students. The course was designed to be taught fully online, or it can be taught in a face-to-face class with online components as supplement. This course is offered by the Department of Psychology and delivered through the Centre for Continuing Distance Education at the University of Saskatchewan. Now, during this time of the project, there was a lot of talk on how to design a reusable learning object. By this, I do not mean the technical standards involved in designing a reusable learning object. I am actually referring to the design of instructions within the RLO. How do we design the instructions inside a learning object that is pedagogically sound? So, at that time, Cisco Systems came up with a model, and they were amongst the first organizations to adopt this concept of reusable learning objects, RLO. They recommend that every RLO or chunk of information will have an overview, a middle section they call the RIO, which consists of the content, practice, and assessment items, and then a summary. So I adopted this system, and I usually modify this model to suit the local interest and the local context. Initially, the design plan for every module, for each module that is to have a prerequisite, objectives, content, practice, assessment, summary, and what's next. However, we did not manage to get so many items. We only managed to do the objectives, the content, and the summary. This is the flowchart here, and there are 16 chapters, 98 modules, and each module is 30 minutes recorded in Camtasia. So there are altogether 98 Camtasia recordings of 30 minutes each. The professor for this, the content expert for this project, was also the textbook writer, and the textbook was published by Pearson. So we got permission to use the animations and the graphics from Pearson. My role in this project was to prepare the presentation in this Camtasia, and then to put the 98 modules into Blackboard in a complete course like that. So this is one of our course templates. It has a Getting Started section. So the Getting Started section will allow students to practice using Blackboard before the start of the course. They need to post something in the discussion board. They need to submit an assignment. They need to access the videos to make sure that their hardware and software is compatible with Blackboard and our media. Now, here is how the chapters, or here is how the modules turned out. We have chapter objectives, readings and activities, the module itself, the content itself, a summary, key terms, and a chapter map. So initially, our design was to have a prerequisite, objectives, content, practice, assessment, summary, and what's next. You can see that it's quite different in theory, in planning, and in practice. Here is an example of the template. Now, this template we did not design because this is the official template of the university following the university colors. All right. So over here is an example of the 30 minutes lecture chunks that are recorded using Camtasia, and this is an animation. Now, the chapter map you see there is interesting. I want to talk about that chapter map. But I think, yes, here it is. It would show the students exactly where they are in the course when they click on that chapter map. Because this is a very huge project, a chapter map is crucial and very useful. Here is the assessment section where students would give the course feedback, final, and the 2 midterm exams. So the exams consist of 50 multiple choice questions randomly selected from a pool of 500. And over here, we have the discussion board that is graded discussion. And here is the rubrics for grading the discussion board. Students can cheat in a multiple choice test. However, it is very difficult to cheat in a discussion board discussion activity, because this is ongoing for many months throughout the entire course. Very, very consistent, and a student must continue to post, and they must continue to type in their responses and their post in a very, very consistent way. So it's actually very hard to cheat. It's also more difficult to mark for the instructor. It's more work. This is the pilot project that we have. Midpoint through the development, we launched the project and we conducted feedback, the pilot launch feedback questionnaire. Okay. We shall not spend time in this slide. It's just the assignments that we have seen. Now, the department's course evaluation of the finished project is very important. This is very jealously guarded by the department. So we, the instructional designers, do not have a lot of say as to what questions go into this questionnaire. This feedback goes into the department's administration and then the head of departments and the instructor. So this is the end of this presentation. Let us move on to another project. The Introduction to Systematic Reviews is a 3-month course that is fully online and offered to postgraduate researchers in the medical health science profession in Western Canada. The course is offered by the College of Medicine School of Graduate Studies and the Health Sciences Library at the University of Saskatchewan. Students work in teams and carry out a collaborative project which involves library research, data extraction, verification, analysis and interpretation of data. The teams practice established procedures for conducting secondary research, what we call a meta-analysis or systematic review. Clinicians have the opportunity to link clinical knowledge and expertise with the evidence-based practice focus of this course. So the evaluations will involve online discussions, submission of preliminary results formatted following editorial requirements of a scientific journal, and team presentation of results in real-time online seminar. If you look at this set of evaluation, it doesn't say that the students have to complete the entire systematic review. It just says that it lays the groundwork and a model and to get them started to complete the project. Preliminary results formatted. So they do not need to completely complete the systematic review. This is one of the most complicated projects that I ever did. So this is the course in Blackboard when it was completed. So we lay out the course objectives. And then we have the evaluation. So here we lay it out very clearly for students. Medical students or students in the health sciences profession are very particular with this information. We have to publish this very clearly from the start of the course. They will ask for this and they want to see this, how they are going to be graded and the assignments they have to do. What do they have to do in the course to complete it? So the timeline for activities is complicated because students have to form groups and then they have to decide on what topic of research they want to do as a group, and then they have to get together in the virtual classroom. In this case, the virtual classroom is Elluminate of Blackboard, to discuss this with a librarian who would show them how to do a search systematically. So you can see that there's some consultation meetings, and the topic of discussion that they have to do. So this is just the timeline for activities, discussions, and the assignments. Again, we have an introductory activities section here. Before the start of class, students have to test their system. This is a very technical project. A lot of software is involved. Students have to learn how to submit a written assignment in Blackboard. They must know how to work in groups, use the discussion forum, use the email, and they have to set up the computers for the virtual classroom. In this case, it's Elluminate. And they have to learn how to use Google Docs because they are working in a group online. So they have to edit certain documents, and so we decided to use Google Docs. So they have to set up a Google Docs account if they don't have one. Students must be able to access videos. We have a lot of short snippet videos made again with Camtasia, and it's a recording of how to do a search of library materials and how to use special software like RefMan and RefWorks. Yes, and they also need to install RefMan and RefWorks if they don't already have these. So here is the overview of the course, section A. And this is the screen capture for the Elluminate virtual classroom session. And here again is the course, very highly interactive. In the discussion board, they have to do threaded discussion activities. And here we have an example of how the videos are being laid out. So the videos demonstration for saving searches in Medline, or a video demonstration for saving searches in Signal, or a video demonstration for saving searches in Emboss or Embase. So these video snippets are very short, 10 minutes, and they are embedded throughout the course. And here we have a recorded lecture. I believe this one is made with Captivate and not Camtasia. Oh, sorry, it is made with Camtasia and not Captivate. Camtasia recordings of PowerPoint presentations. Yes. So we also have this lecture presentation type, in addition to those short how-to videos. So here is a screenshot of what the screen capture look like, those short videos. And I believe this one is how to use and save, manage searches and references in RefWorks. So this concludes my presentation on the introduction to systematic reviews.